of the population, 1% of tourism. We should only have to be paying the maximum of 10%. Why should we be paying 50% of that? To me, that is wrong, and that is why things are so hard for businesses on Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. You with me, sir?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, like I said, I sent this letter. I gave most. I sent 6 copies, and up until today, I spoke to Mr. Joey about the situation. And up until today, I'm not going to answer same with Elvis. We're not doing nothing about it, or we going to consider it. Up until today, now listen, I know within the government, then I could have done it just like that, because I am sure, because I spoke to a lot of members from your government and the backbench that would support it. Good. It didn't happen. But now, you guys can still do it, you know. Because, Mr. You, I know if you bring a motion like this, or Mr. McTaggart, or Morris, it would be supported in there. That's why I call it happen. There's lots of people in the islands, because I'm not speaking this from drinking too much Hennessy. The statistics shows it. The government statistics. So please, I asking you, because I spoke to you and Mr. Alden, McLaughlin said that he would support it, but it didn't make it to his office.
Okay, let's give them an opportunity to respond to you.
And you know, good thing, Mr. McTaggart, Mr. Hugh. Let's start a new economy. Vote for the weed. Bring a motion for the ganja. You guys have a nice day. Really nice day.
Thank you very much. I know he wasn't going to leave that out.
Let me respond to that quickly.
Sure.
And he is right. He did send a letter through with Mr. Mose, and we actually discussed it in caucus, and it was with my team. I think, unfortunately, we just, one of those things we never got around to. But the first issue we ran into, and it would take a bit of legislative change, is that his retail license in the BRAC, there's no fees. Okay. He wants a distributor's license, which is basically an importer. That's where his argument is. So it's Jake Scott and those guys that import into the Cayman Islands.
Mm-hmm. So he want to be like them.
He wants that license, but his business is only in Cayman Brac.
Okay.
So he imports directly to Cayman Brac. I think he gets most of it from the distributors in Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac, and then he distributes in Cayman Brac. So he wants to be within the law. He wants to be a distributor, or he is a distributor. He's paying his license because he wants to be legal.
Yes.
In that sense that he can sell 10 cases to this bar and 10 cases, even though he's not the one that actually imported it to the Cayman Islands.
Got it.
And so that presented some challenges. And I didn't understand at first why he wanted the distributor's license. But you know, after, as he said, I spoke with him, I got to understand, and he would like to have something to leave for his children, etc. So, and so that my team was working on it. I have no idea where we got with that, because there were challenges as to how do we differentiate as an importer, as a distributor, a master distributor for just Cayman Brac versus the Cayman Islands.
And he wouldn't be classified as I'm inventing something here now, a redistributor.
Well, that is something, like I said, we would have to get creative and make some legislative changes. So there is an opportunity for that, and I'll certainly sit down and discuss it with in fact, I will ensure that it's on our caucus agenda and discuss it with Mr. Cockernell about how perhaps we could try and pick this back up and see how we can make it. But there is challenges. It would take some legislative changes, and yes, he's absolutely right. It is a challenge for him to pay the fees that that he has to pay now for the amount of businesses that he supports in the BRAC. So
yeah. Okay, we're going to take our last commercial break, and the phone lines are closed now, and we want to give my guests an opportunity to cover anything that they have not covered, and also for some closing comments as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach. Cocoa Fest is back at Pedro St. James, Saturday, February 26, from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Enjoy crafts, games, music, coconut-inspired food and treats, health and beauty products, and enjoy local cooks, craftsmen, artisans, and farmers through a shared love for the Cayman coconut. Entry is $10 for adults, $5 for kids. Children 5 and under are free. Cocoa Fest will be adhering to all government regulations to keep our visitors safe. So, go coconuts at Cocoa Fest, Saturday, February 26. Sponsored by Fidelity, Pepsi, Ministry of Culture and Heritage, High Impact Media, Cayman Spirits, and ATV Cayman.
The coconut nut is a giant nut.
The National Cultural Foundation presents Red Sky Marketplace, your chance to support Cayman's artists and artisans and buy local. This Saturday, February 26th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. inside the Hawkwill Theatre. Admission is free. Visit over a dozen booths featuring photography, paintings, sculptures, jewelry, ceramics, furniture, home and beauty accessories, and more. Check out the CNCF Facebook and Instagram pages at Cayman Culture for more information.
For the record with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning with the Honourable Roy McTaggart, Leader of the Opposition, Deputy Leader of the Opposition and Member of Parliament, Mr. Joey Hugh. So, Mr. Leader of the Opposition, the health insurance. Yeah. I know you wanted to get back to that as well.
Well, I do, because it was raised, and it is an issue. It's a very thorny issue that needs to be addressed, because the way things, my understanding, the way things work here now in Cayman with the health insurance, when you retire, your employer no longer provides insurance cover. You no longer have insurance cover, and you have to go into the market to try and acquire it. And to my understanding and knowledge is that what you are offered only is the SHIC or Standard Health Insurance contract, which is effectively a very minimal contract. Some will tell you that the coverage is extremely poor and doesn't really give you sufficient coverage, and particularly as you're in your later years when you most need it. Now, I recall in order for that last term, the Health Minister, Mr. Dwayne Seymour, his ministry did a lot of work, I believe, in trying to put together such a health insurance policy that people retiring and in their later years could move into. I remember we received a presentation on it, and even then the premiums were just very high, and I don't think it went much further. I don't recall what happened after that, but even then it went back for further work, if I remember correctly, because what came back in terms of recommended premiums was just exorbitant. We just immediately concluded that it was likely to not succeed in the marketplace. So it's something that we have to look at, and it's just not for the elderly. The whole issue of health insurance, I think, needs to be looked at again, and really we need to just take a step back and look at it holistically and on a broad scale, and look and say, is the current system, does it continue to be fit for purpose? Because you hear of so many people who transitioning jobs and elsewhere and whatnot, and they don't have insurance coverage, and things happen, and they're in a get into trouble very quickly because they have no coverage, unable to afford health care when they need it. So I do believe a comprehensive review, and I'm talking about involvement, public and private sector, of the system to see what changes need to be made, in order to make it more suitable and to provide that blanket of coverage for every citizen, that because the law requires every citizen to be covered. Yeah. So, I mean, there is some work there that was done, so that can be a starting point in terms of getting this kicked off, by the government if they want to move it forward.
And any views on boosting the minimum wage?
Minimum wage, law requires the minimum wage to be reviewed. And I know that the review was started during our term. I don't know where it got to, but we certainly, the law requires, I think, every 2 years that it be reviewed. And I can stand to be corrected on it. That's my recollection. Okay. I know the work started on it, but I do believe it is more than timely that review be completed, and we look at amending the law to allow for that to increase.
Closing comments from each of you?
Thank you, OC. Pleasure again to be on, and thank you for those who listened in and those who called in and participated. I think I wanted to, while I was sitting here thinking some of the conversation about tourism returning, some of the conversations we have around our dinner tables or with friends and stuff, I want to just say to everyone out there that as we start to welcome numbers of tourists back in the next week or two, let us not forget our Caymankind. I know it's going to be tough. We're going to have to share our restaurants and share our beaches and share our roads. I've seen the traffic pick up already as the numbers return to our shores. But let us not forget our Caymankind. Let us be patient, and let us remember that there are those persons who really need to have or make a living from tourism and have been waiting anxiously for this day, and just let's go back to Caymankind and treat our guests with respect and welcome them when they come.
Okay, and any word in terms of to people? Yes, you haven't been earning a salary or a proper salary, but don't try to make it back all in once. I was speaking to someone yesterday, I believe it was, and they were talking about the fact that they came in on a flight and they knew that they had been cheated by the taxi driver because they had been told by the dispatch exactly how much it would cost. And the taxi driver charged them something like about $5 or $10 more than it should have been, and insisted that that's what it is. So, people have to ensure that they don't try to make it back. And not only individuals, but businesses as well. Try to get it all back one time.
And they should report, they take the taxi driver's number and report it, because there is a published sheet. And then now there are apps out there that you can actually book your taxes through.
And they refer them to all of that, but he insisted.
No, you're absolutely right. Let us go back. Our success, we don't have the mountains, we don't have the rivers. In many instances, not even the topography of other regional competitors, but it is our friendliness and our safety that makes our guests come back over and over and over again. So let us not forget it.
Okay. Mr. Leader, any more?
Just to echo my thanks as well to thanks of my deputy, and to say thank you for hosting us again this morning, OC. Always a pleasure to be here and to engage in thoughtful and meaningful conversation, and and to try to debate the issues of the day. We try to keep ourselves relevant and keep keep those things that we know are important to the people in the forefront of everyone's mind.
Yep.
And, we often get criticized, as maybe someone in the callers did, we're not here to just pick on the government. Mm-hmm. But the nature of our system is that it is an adversarial one.
You've been paid to be in opposition.
Absolutely. So we are here to oppose.
Yes.
and people need to remember that.
Yeah.
And we don't do this just because we want to be cantankerous and mean-spirited or anything else. It's our role.
Yeah.
And, I'll leave it right there.
Okay.
And just thank you once again for hosting us.
Thank you also. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling, Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health.